Chances are that you or someone around you is currently wearing a smartwatch. Did you know that some smartwatches have various health and safety features? Have you ever wondered how smartwatches are able to detect complicated things deep in our body? Well, today we are looking into how they are able to read blood oxygen levels. Pulse oximetry is a remarkable, non-invasive method for estimating blood oxygen levels. But what exactly does this mean? First, what even is blood oxygen? Blood oxygen refers to the proportion of hemoglobin molecules in the blood that are currently carrying oxygen, or oxygenated blood, compared to those that are not, or deoxygenated blood. In simpler terms, it's a measure of how efficiently your blood is transporting oxygen throughout your body. Blood oxygen is often referred to as the fifth vital sign because it provides crucial information about your overall health and well-being. Monitoring your blood oxygen levels can help detect respiratory problems or other medical conditions early on. Typically, an ideal level is above 95%. Blood oxygen is usually read through something called a pulse oximeter. These devices typically use two lights, one red and one infrared, along with a photodetector. The photodetector consumes the light energy and produces an electrical current. So how does the pulse oximeter read blood oxygen levels? Two wavelengths of light, one red and one infrared, are passed through the skin. The photodetector will then detect the light that moves through the tissue. By collecting the transmitted or reflected light, the device can measure the changing absorbance of the tissue. Light absorption of the red and infrared wavelengths differ depending on if the blood is oxygenated or not. Oxygenated blood absorbs more infrared light, and deoxygenated blood absorbs more red light. The ratio of these two absorptions will determine the blood oxygen reading. There are two main types of pulse oximetry: transmissive and reflective. In transmissive pulse oximetry, the light sources and photodetector are positioned opposite to each other, with the measurement site, usually a finger, placed in between. This method is the most commonly used due to its accuracy and stability. On the other hand, reflective pulse oximetry has the light sources and photodetector on the same side, with light being reflected across the measurement site. The photodetector relies on the backscattering of light to create a signal. While reflective pulse oximetry can be more versatile in terms of measurement sites, such as the feet, forehead, or wrist, it's not as commonly used for medical purposes due to its lower accuracy and stability. In recent years, reflective pulse oximetry has been implemented in smartwatches to read blood oxygen. Although multiple studies have shown that smartwatch blood oxygen readings are similar to that of transmissive pulse oximetry, some research shows that reflected and infrared pulses can only be used for specific areas, such as the radial artery. In fact, most areas of the wrist are not available for blood oxygen monitoring. In addition, a slight position change at the measurement site significantly affects the performance of the oximeter. For best results when using a smartwatch to read blood oxygen, it is recommended to lay your arm on your lap or a table, keep your wrist and palm down and flat, and hold as still as you can. It is also recommended that the watch is not loose on the wrist, and that the back of the watch is flush with the top of the wrist. However, smartwatch companies still give precautions that even under ideal conditions, it may not be able to get a reliable blood oxygen measurement every time. Sometimes, factors such as skin perfusion, or how much blood flows through your skin, tattoos, and a high heart rate can alter results. This has also been supported by research, as when these precautions are not followed, it leads to inaccurate results. However, you will soon see that some smartwatches will no longer have this feature. In the United States, a current lawsuit is underway as a medical technology company called has sued Apple for stealing the mechanisms that measure blood oxygen. A recent ban took place where Apple can no longer sell Apple Watches with that feature, but the case is still ongoing. So, are smartwatches worth it for the blood oxygen detection? Research shows that although they aren't the best for medical use, they are still good for monitoring and entertainment. However, each person is different and should consult with a medical professional before making any decisions. We hope you learned something new, and we'll see you next time on Demystifying Research.